Clemson Tigers. 3A Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. Syracuse will kick off and we'll be underway. On the run from inside his own 5. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. So Clemson's offense will go on the attack first. And the heart of this team clearly rests on the offensive line. A group of maulers, David, who take pride in what they do.
Man, I think if you're a coach, you take pride. Like, it starts up front. Like, you win and lose games with physicality, and they lean on all the...
There he goes! Let's take a second and talk about Clemson. When you break into the top 5 halfway through the season, you've been flying under the radar, and that is no longer an option. You want to see if this team can stay focused with all the attention they're getting.
And that's what's pretty cool about their season. Like, they're starting to get respect. They've started to earn that. I think we just got to realize, Palmer, halfway through the season, you don't get any trophies. That doesn't exist.
You just got to keep doing what you're doing, right? It's been working to get to this point, to get that number beside your name, to get everybody's attention. Now's not the time to freeze up and start getting nervous because you've got the spotlight on you. You've got to keep playing the game the way you've been doing it the first half of the season.
They'll run it from the gun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. It'll be 3rd and long. They'll send the back in motion. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Snagged in the middle. It's Hawkins. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a first at the 29. Clemson is quick to the line.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them, they're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
They'll pull him down after a pickup of 5 down to the 23.
And the offense has a little bit of success, and what do? They push that turbo button right back on the line, ready to run another play.
Right back to the well.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Don't overthink it, right? Just hand it off, get the first down, new set of downs, let's go.
And the Tigers will have it 1st and 10. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Moves around to clear up the vision. He just wisely got rid of that one. The worst thing that can happen to you is to turn it over on 1st down in the red zone. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They'll leave it with him. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. 9th play of the opening drive coming up, but now they face a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection. And on 4th down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. Absolutely center cut. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
Well, this team knew coming into tonight's game they had to get momentum early, playing at home. They want to get the crowd into it, so you get a beautiful drive here to start this thing. You would have liked to cap it off with a touchdown, but listen, set yourself up for a field goal. You knock it through the uprights. You've got the lead. Everything right now looking good.
The Orange offense will get its first chance now. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. From the shotgun, they'll run it. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. The running back has it. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his...
And the quarterback goes down all the way back, and 4-yard line. The Orange will have to punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground from the offense. To the ground with the back. Turning it on! Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
And after a successful run like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot, because even if it's incomplete now on second, you only have a short amount of yards to go here on third.
Man, they could have flipped that field in a hurry, right? They've given up some yards. They're sitting in their own red zone. A chance to make a big play. Yeah, he could have made that interception and could have flipped this field.
Got to pick up a few to move the sticks here on third down from their own 20. They'll give it to the back. Didn't get much. Picked up a yard, and that will leave them with 4th and 2.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
This would likely be a chip shot for the field goal kicker, but they want the touchdown instead. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Working the middle, it's complete. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11. This Clemson offense moving quickly down the field. Looking downfield on first down. He's got it and still on his feet. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. Give to the back. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers.
This offense knew coming into the season it was so important for this guy to stay healthy. They needed him week in, week out, because he plays at such a high level, and he's showing it here. That last carry was his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
Out of the end zone. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Pressure coming. And the defense makes a play, sacking it back at the 10. If you plan to deal with the Tigers, you better be able to handle their defensive front. They have a whole legacy of this dating back to the fridge, William Perry.
Big old legacy, and it seems like every year they rotate so many guys that are so highly recruited, so good. Just great players. They're always big and strong and fast and physical, and they get after your quarterback.
On the move and looking deep. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. Syracuse will be forced to punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. No fair catches here, looking for room. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They've built a quick double-digit lead now to try to get this offense really humming. Unleashes one deep. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it and you can hear it. Sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time he used the lob wedge and the defender came in and made the interception. Big play for this defense early.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Syracuse right back at him.
And this guy has been a dominant force early in this game. We're still in the first half. He already has a sack. He gets a tackle for loss there. He's playing so well with his eyes right now. He's reading his keys, and he's letting his God-given ability put him in the backfield to make these plays.
And the defense brings the blitz. And how about the QB? Really nice job understanding. If I can hang on to this just a little bit longer, it gives my receiver an opportunity to run a better route and get more.
And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. Syracuse will send out the punt team. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Makes the catch right at the 50. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down. We've reached the break. Clemson has the lead. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. They largely dominated the first quarter and built a nice lead to get started. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Takes the handoff. It's Pryor. They get him down, but he does pick up 3 to the 32-yard line. The Tigers come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. They'll try to run for it. And the tackle is made, but there has been a flag thrown. That penalty cost them a third down conversion, and now they'll have to try it from a little farther away. Line is set on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Quick completion on the out. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker.
Man coverage, when they get up in your face, they make things hard. You want to be able to attack the whole field and get them lean in one direction and then break outside like you did there. Nice out route connection, nice chemistry between quarterback and wide receiver.
Unloads it left. Can't complete the long throw, and the defense gets off the field on fourth down. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Everybody and their brother showing blitz. Got his man to the left. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. Quick handoff. They get him in the backfield, and he loses 3 on the play.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. He's simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
Syracuse right back at it. Play action. Throws toward the end zone. And it's intercepted in the end zone. No, he's out of bounds. Oh, so close to stopping the drive with a turnover in the end zone. And on fourth down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. And he missed it. No good. A missed field goal leaves us with a double-digit game still sitting at 10. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Wants to go up top on first down. Fires complete on the crosser. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down.
As a tight end, if you're going to be good in the passing game, you've got to be able to feel the windows when defenses play zone coverage. And he did a really good job of that right there. He didn't rush. He didn't hurry. He took his time, found the soft spot, and gave his quarterback an easy place to throw the football.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. To the ground. He's got it again. He has the first and still on his feet. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it. The Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. Hand off from the shotgun. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5.
Set, ready.
Here's the handoff. Breaks into the open. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Tiger. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
Anytime you've got a successful run play on the ground, you've got to have great blocking up front. The offensive line, receivers, everybody doing their job. And that helped lead to the home run.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. They've fallen into this big hole, and they are pretty desperate for answers right now. He'll pull it down. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the middle. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Grab near the marker. It's Gage. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Here comes the offense on 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Works the middle. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The defense calls the timeout. They're 2nd of the day as they try to get their act together. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Defense looks like they're about to bring the house. Back to pass. Here comes the heat. And the quarterback is sacked. There are penalty flags down, but this might be doubly bad for the offense. I think the penalty might be on them. So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. The Orange trying to come up with an explosive play to convert this third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires left. Complete downfield. And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the first down. Syracuse has a really nice drive going.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Gonna run it. It's Denson. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Rides to the back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
On third down, he drops to throw. Bringing the heat. Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football. And they're running out the kicker to give it a try. He's going to have to break out the thunderfoot on this one, a 57-yard attempt. And he's got it from 57. What a beauty.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on fourth down so much easier. Just strut him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
So the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away after putting up a field goal. Let's see what the defense can do. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it, why would you stop handing it off? Just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
2nd down, he'll throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose. And I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, really be...
Intercepted! A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Was looking for a little more daylight for a big return, but he'll settle for the pick and setting his offense up at the 24. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt. But this offense would like him and prefer for him to kick an extra point on this drive. And to do that, David, they've got to have more rhythm on offense.
Yeah, create some more rhythm, create some more explosive plays, and maybe some more balance. And listen, it's nice to have that weapon and kick long field goals. If you kick too many field goals, you don't get very many W's.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. It's broken up and almost intercepted on that shot to the end zone. It'll be 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. Now the lead is down to 11.
And that's a really good response by this defense. Their offense throws an interception, puts them in bad field position. They respond with a stop, force a field goal. Yeah, they got 3 points, but great job by this defense.
So after the made field goal, they'll kick it away and rely on their defense. And he'll bring it out of the end zone. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Makes the grab. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. Clemson jumps to the line. Off the play fake on first down. Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson! They went for it all, and it paid off with the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play just like he did right there for 6 points.
The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup and figure it out. This offense doesn't have time to do that. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to throw it downfield. They've got to score points.
Now a first down from the 45-yard line. To the air on first down. He makes the catch close to the sticks, but he'll be a little short of the first down.
Yeah, and he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
Throws for the tight end. And they won't make the connection going for the big play. The Orange now facing a 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. The Orange will have to punt. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. He couldn't find much running room there. Didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They'll try to put a drive together, starting from their own 12. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. And some room to work. Oh, he's got some space. And there they go again with another huge gain on the ground. He's finally run out of bounds. And the Tigers just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. He's going to take off. Still on his feet at the 45. Wide open spaces. Just like that. A huge gain, and they've got it inside the 10. They'll mark it at the 8. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. A first down run on the doorstep. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
Quarterback on the keeper. Touchdown, Clemson! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finished the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
Syracuse, 6.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Syracuse right back at it. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. At the 35, he's loose. Out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Got his man.
Well, they execute the in route. How about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Fires to the wideout. He's got it. Inside the 35. Knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33.
42 Spider. 4-2 Spider.
Looking to throw on first down. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left. On second down, they'll try the field goal to get the points before halftime. Looks as if this will be a 51-yard attempt. He slides that just inside the right upright. So they get the late field goal right before the half and not much time after this kickoff for an answer.
How about it? 50-plus, no problem. Big leg, nice accuracy. That's a big-time kick for this young man.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, yeoman's work so far in Death Valley, and welcome into the halftime report. And how can we begin our analysis of that first half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust his strategy, he could be headed towards a career day. Time to see how things play out the rest of the way as we send it back to our guys in Death Valley.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. Ready to start the second half, and Clemson will kick it away. He'll return it. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece. I know this is coach speak and very simple. I score, I get a stop, I score. I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops, so this is a critical drive here for this offense.
Look out, he's got room. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Makes the catch. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Stonewalled again. No gain on the play. They keep trying to stick with the running game, but there's not much getting done. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out everybody right now on the same page.
Across the 40 out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move. The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10. Got his man in the middle. He makes the stop at the 48. That'll be enough for a 1st down and a pickup of 10. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll run the option. Quick toss. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Positive plays. That's all you're looking for here in the option game. Not everything is going to be a 70-yard touchdown run, obviously, but if you can pick up positive yardage like that, and the quarterback makes good decisions, pitching it out when no one's accounting for the pitch, man, you'll take that all day long. They don't get the first down, but why would you stop running option after a play like that?
Tight end now in motion. They'll move the wide receiver. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. The Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Going to swing it on 2nd down. He's got an open man. Brought down at the 25-yard line. Give him 15 yards on the pickup, and this offense is threatening. 1st and 10, they're down to the 25. Looking downfield on 1st down. Punts it out of the air. And there might have been trouble if they hadn't gotten to him immediately. And the Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Power football with the run. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. The Tigers back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. They'll go to the toss. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
Got some work to do on 2nd down after that last one. They need 13. There he goes. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Tiger. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in the running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On designed runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score.
Syracuse, 9.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Here's the pressure. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
And you will always remember your first. And how about that? Breaking on the football, getting an INT, the first INT. Keep the football, brother. The first of many big-time plays for this guy.
Got his man quickly. They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9.
Well, there are a lot of offenses out there that would probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the 3rd quarter. But when you've got the playmakers these guys have at the skill positions throwing the football, you should keep airing it out. And that's exactly what they're doing now.
Here we go.
With the run on 1st and goal. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back. Knowing if they get down into this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
And he tacks on the extra point. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead and they're trying to hold on to it. And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Throws to the wideout. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
The sure hands, it's Gage. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Trying to pick it up on the ground. Turning it on. Inside the 40. The 30. The 20. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Cuse.
Man, this guy is such a weapon because he's so dangerous if he gets into the second level. Great vision, and then David, he shows you the speed.
Just straight wheels, erasing angles. A lot of times when you're chasing guys that are so fast like this, you're like, I got him, I got him. No, I do not. What a big, long touchdown run. Pad those stats, young fella.
Set to kick it off.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Use the play fake, now to throw. He's got him. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Gives it on the option. He'll get a fresh set of downs, stopped at the 31-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. One final play before the end of the quarter. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the third quarter. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. As we enter the fourth quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. They had a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. From the shotgun, the inside give. Breaks into the open. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Clemson set up with another first down.
Cricket.
The give to the back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to fire. Pocket breaking down. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Off-play action on first down. Now he'll let one fly down the left side. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. The lead gets bigger here in the fourth quarter, and their run continues, about to go 8-0.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
And the return man's journey is stopped, but there is a flag on the play.
Illegal block on the back. Return to
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
Got it. Spire.
Looking for space. It's Denson. Determined run, but he stopped after 2 yards down at the 13.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
He'll try it again. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there. He didn't have any.
Fires to the tight end. Gets the job done on third down as he gets it out to the 25. New set of downs after the completion. Wants to go up top on first down. Makes the catch. It's Gage. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Wants to throw on first down. That pass is incomplete.
And this is always the time in the game where coaches are absolutely watching. Like, which one of my guys mail it in and quit? And if you're the quarterback, man, you've been sacked a few times, you've turned the football over, like, continue to play, find some ways to maybe get a few first downs and make something positive happen.
The Orange with a lot of work to do on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. A strike downfield. Oh, he's got some space. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and it's nice to have guys like this on third down, on money downs that you can go to, and you know he's going to win. Hit the gas, hit the brakes, create a little bit of separation. Nice job.
Ball is loose. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. They drag him down pretty quickly, but the defense forced a big turnover. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. To the air on first down. Rushes on him. Buys a little time with his feet. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
Man, that's so frustrating. And it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
42 Spiders.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Looking for his man in the middle. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? They'll try the run. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. And for the second time tonight, they'll trot out the field goal kicker. Never a doubt. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand. They keep pushing that lead out, and the kickoff team's getting some work.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest of this way, and we looking pretty good.
Looking to throw on first down. Unloads to the wideout. On target over the middle. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give to the back. Runs through the tackle. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment, defense.
Defense just a little too eager, and that's 5 yards for the O. That last one was just a crushing penalty for this defense. Here comes 2nd and 1. Wide receiver comes in motion. Leaves it with the back. He goes down at the 47 after a 5-yard pickup. Syracuse ready to go to work with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the fourth quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
Can't find the man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete. Syracuse will be forced to punt. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right, for an offensive coordinator. Getting ready to go into victory formation. So many good things happened today. It seemed like everything he was dialing today, David, ended up working out.
No doubt. They've put a lot of highlights together, put a great offensive game together, complete football game. They get the win. On to next week.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. But, you know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board, figure some things out, because this wasn't a great game.
Solid work and execution there. They'll have a first down as they mark it at the 40.
Well, this guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him, and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward schematically.
Lining up to convert 3rd down. When you know you have a team outclassed, the ability to play to that standard and finish with a blowout like this is really impressive.
And it's almost like playing against yourself, right? You know you're better. You know you're going to win the football game, but how do I continue to still execute? This was so easy. Great execution. Just beat down in every facet.
I think as a player, you just love being in such great rhythm, and we saw that right from the get-go in this game. Offense just able to matriculate the ball.